CSE 3200 Yukon Stores. We just finished wrapping up Hello World, and it's time to start what is, say, app 1, robot. So we're going to create a robot app, and we're going to go online and get assets. We're going to get 6 pictures, 3 large robots, red, white, and yellow, and small varieties of the same. Then we are going to make a nested linear layout in Hello World. We used a constraint layout, which is the default when you open up an app. And then we are going to make behavior. We're going to set listeners for the objects that we make. Okay, let's get started. So we're going to go File, New Project, Empty Views Activity, and name it. I'll call mine Robot F24 and finish. And that opens up in a new window, and it's generating resources, and that's going to take some time. So I'm going to pause. All right, that worked. Okay, next thing we're going to do, we're going to go online in the Husky CT, and we are going to grab our assets. So here I am in CSE 3200. And I'm going to go over to course content, and I'm going to go into assets, and you're going to see 6 robots. Now I've already got the first 5, so I'll just show you with the last one. Yours might look a little bit different because I'm still in edit mode, so I'm clicking this button, I click open, right click on this image, and then save image as, and then save it wherever you want. Somewhere easy, you can do the desktop, or right now I'm going into downloads, and then hit save, and then we can X this out, and I'm done on the internet. So back to our app. Okay, basic activity, and I should see a Hello World here. Okay, so I'm going to hide this over here. And maybe I'll go split, drag this over a little bit, and I'm going to bring in a palette in just a second. Okay, so we're going to have a nested linear layout instead of a constraint layout. So I'm going to come up here, put this on this line so it doesn't get erased. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to erase this, and I'm going to type in linear layout. Now, sometimes when I do this, the end tag auto completes, but sometimes it does not. It did not. Okay, so as I did that, the Hello World no longer was in the center. These constraints no longer do anything, so we can get rid of those constraints. I will get rid of the text view in a little bit. Okay, next, this is a step I actually forgot. So we're going to go over to the resource manager, and we are going to get our images. So I'm going to go into drawable. Actually, I'm going to do this from project. I'm going to go into project. I'm going to drill down into resources and in drawable. And I do not have to do this. Because when I drag and drop, I'm just going to go to that drawable right there. So I will, let's see, I'll open up where I got my files, which is my downloads. And I could probably do multiple files at once, but I'll just do one, and I'll drag this over to drawable. Do you want to refactor? Yes, and I will just do that 5 more times. Okay, I actually just did it one more time. I selected them all and drug them nice and fast. There are other ways, by the way, that we could get those pictures in there, but that's probably the easiest. All right, now we can hide this. And now I'll bring in the objects by going into the palette. And I will drag in an image view somewhere around here maybe, and I want the red robot large. Now we're not going to use any of the small assets today, just the large. So we're going to do this again. Next we'll bring in white large, and then we'll bring in yellow large. Okay, so notice that when I brought them in, they aligned themselves as good as they could on the horizontal. That means that my default for the linear layout has an orientation that is horizontal. So if let's close the palette, so I have a little bit more room. Bring this over. There, that's good. So I'm going to come up here to my linear layout, and I'm going to go orientation, but I'm going to go horizontal. So let's see, it only gives me the one choice, but if I type H, it says horizontal, okay. So that didn't do anything. Now the reason it didn't do anything is because that was the default. It was as if that line of code was already there. If I want to change it to vertical, which the suggestion was giving me, or the editor was giving me as a suggestion, then it now fits things in order vertically. And notice how it's quite spread out this time. Like those image views, they have a much bigger height because it's just trying to fill my view. Things are equally spaced with the aid of Android layout weight. So if I give this guy a weight of 2, then we could see that he grew a fair bit and the others may have shrunk. So let's turn this up a little bit more, make it 3. If we made it like 10, can we force that yellow guy off the board? No, not really. It's just some sort of percentage, right? So this guy gets a weight of 1, a weight of 1, a weight of 10, and a weight of, well, whatever the font size is. So if I make this a 5, something like that, then this has not twice the height, and this doesn't have 5 times the height of that. So it's a little bit relative. And the thing is, we don't need them anyway with the view, the layout that we're ultimately going to have. So I want you to erase all of those weights we just played to see, what that could be of benefit for later on with, some work that you might do. All right, so let's go ahead and get rid of our text view. So we can get rid of our text view by selecting this code over here and hitting delete. It's now gone. We could have gone over here, selected the text view, and hit the delete key there. Whatever change I make in the editor, I see the code change. Whatever change I make in the code, I see a change reflected over here in the preview. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get these guys to the center by coming up here and going Android : gravity center. If I chose center horizontal, then it doesn't go center, horizontal, and vertical. It just does center horizontal. If I go center vertical, then it just goes center and vertically, but not horizontally. So I want center, but I thought I would show you a couple of other options. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to get yellow to show up here. I want it on top. Then we're going to get red here. So this will be yellow, this will be red, and this will be white. I know that didn't show up very well on the screen, but you get the idea. You can barely see the boxes, yellow on top. So I want for, let's see if I can get a little bit better here. So yeah, that should show up a little bit better. This is my red and this is my white. So I want these two in their own layout, so it's horizontal. Whereas the entire layout is going to be vertical. So this is how it's going to become a nested linear layout. That the master linear layout will be the vertical that I have set here, but then inside of it, I'm going to have this horizontal version. Let me erase that. Okay, so I want to change the IDs of these guys before I go over to the main activity and wire them up. So we're going to call this one robot red. I don't know if I called them that way in class. Maybe I called it red_robot. This one is going to be robot_white. Robot_yellow. And I want to move the yellow guy up top. So select this, and we'll hit cut, Control X, something like that, Control V, paste. All right, now yellow goes on top. It's the order in which they are put in my XML layout. Okay, so right here, we're going to start a new linear layout, and I'm going to do this by typing it out. There'll be a little bit of autocomplete. Okay, I'm ready to autocomplete. When I do, it does not give me an end tag, but it does give me two things that will be required. You must set the layout width and the layout height, and I want them to be wrap content each. I'm going to go ahead and end this. I want to take this tag right here, and I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to put it here. Okay, so I have now wrapped. My linear layout is here. This is my red guy and my white guy. So this is going to be vertical, and this one will be horizontal. Where is... Oh, okay. I was looking at this line right here, and I was thinking it was this line. So I was saying, where are my height and width? They had to be there. I also could set the orientation to horizontal, but again, it is the default. And so I don't think I really need to do anything more for this. So this is going to be like header notation for everything that falls within a linear layout, whereas the images could, have other things that would change where they are, like their weight or padding or margins. Okay, but I'm not going to do any of that. Okay, so one more thing before I end this video. We do have a text box that says begin the game. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that in. I'm going to go palette. I will drag in a text view, and it doesn't really matter where I drag it, I don't think. I'll hide that palette now. This looks like it had a default width of match parent instead of wrap content, and it does. I think I'll leave it that way for now. I ended up putting it kind of right where I wanted it. Is that right? Yeah, I did want it outside of that horizontal linear layout. So I did drop it where I wanted it. All right, let's actually delete it and type it. So notice it says that it has an ID of text view. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to hit my delete key, and now it's gone. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to do it by typing it. So I'm going to get a begin tag, and this is going to be a text view. When I hit autocomplete, it also gives me a layout width and a layout height, which are necessary. I'm going to go wrap content and wrap content. I will end that tag, and I think we're okay there. Now the entire text view, I don't think I need that. Nope, I do. Okay. What else? It needs to have its own text, and it needs to have a text size. So the reason that it has absolutely no width whatsoever is I don't have any text in there. Let's see if it's going to be okay with my wrap content. I'm going to say Android:text is equal to, well, that one's hello world, but it's not going to be hello world. It's going to be begin the game. And then I'm going to have a font size, so Android:text size is equal to, yep, I'm going to take that 24 SP. It looks pretty good. I think I'm going to leave it like that. But before we end this video, let's make this into a string resource. So let's come over here to project, go into resource, go into values, go into strings, and we're going to copy this. We're going to paste it, and we're going to say this is the begin game. begin game message, and the message will be begin the game. Now I'm going to put an exclamation point there. I didn't on the other screen, and I want to show you that when I come back here, it still does not have an exclamation point, and I have a caution which says that it should be a string resource. So I'm going to select and get rid of that hard-coded text. I'm going to put an ampersand, and then I'm going to put string / and then begin game message. And I have one fewer caution, and it's hard to tell, but this does have an exclamation point. If I click off of this and I no longer see those blue anchors, they were covering up that exclamation point. All right, so we got our assets and we made our nested linear layout. So that's it for video 1. In our next video, we'll finish this up, at least lecture 1 of Robot, where we will wire up our views and make a toast. See you in that video.